personality for this week is bangs.
Bangs! I got bangs!
At least just for the week. Keeping up with my political t-shirts. We all know my feelings about Kenneth Mejia, who has endorsed Nithya Raman. Working on it.
Kirsten's Agenda is the name of my show. It's a way to make art and learn stuff and grow. There will be lots of segments and maybe some guests. 10 minutes of deep breath, that is my quest. Opening up is a really good place to start. Kirsten's Agenda.
Okay. We've got news, you guys. Remember how I said I think there's something in the water that makes political stuff, local political stuff, like makes us sleepy, right? Unless it's like, I've noticed that if it's like, this man had an antenna grow out of his head and then that antenna started to steal all the bagels in town, something, really scandalous, then everybody gets all activated, right? Or like one of the horrific things that so-and-so says at a correspondence dinner, calling people names and things, like everyone gets like, rah! But nothing happens, right? But the things that are really happening are super boring, so we don't pay attention, and those are the things we have control over. Now, do you remember? Go back in time. We talked to Cecilia Aguiar Curry. Do you remember that? We talked about AB1776. Stay with me. I know you're getting bored. Listen to this. So she explained why this whole antitrust bill is so cool, and it's a no-brainer, and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Go listen to that. She explains it. Listen to this. The California Chamber of Commerce has started a newly launched statewide advertising campaign opposing AB 1776. What? So 1776 is going to solve real problems in California. It's going to help small businesses.
The only thing that it would hurt is big conglomerate things
that don't help any person, right? The thing that it helps is whatever this massive blob of money that people kind of get sucked into, that they don't, that's not, we're not talking about like, a person that, So they're claiming that the supporters have failed to identify a problem. I'm sorry, there's not a problem that we don't have massive corporations that are eking out small businesses. I'm sorry. They claim the bill will hurt small business. Small businesses are exempt from this bill. So, how? Thank you. Small and medium-sized businesses stand to benefit the most from stronger protections against dominant firms that use their market power to suppress competition and dictate unfair terms. They claim AB 1776 will cost California's economy nearly $1 trillion. That estimate is biased and not based on the bill. That extraordinary figure comes from an economic analysis commissioned by opponents of the bill, aka super rich dudes who want this to go away. That was not from an independent government or academic review. The projection is based on a series of assumptions made on unrelated legislation in other states that supporters of the bill and numerous antitrust experts strongly dispute. This is annoying to me. These are places, we live in California. We can do something about this, okay? I know what I want to do. What do you want to do? Big deal. It's a big deal. We're going to figure out who we call. I don't know who yet. Because remember, this show is called Make Some Spaghetti, Throw It Against the Wall, Look at What Sticks. Oh, look, there's something about AB 1776. Let's talk about it. That's why we're here. And to that end, there's so much going on in the KV life. I'm in a play. I wrote a play that is on the weekends. I have something I love to do that I get to do many days of the week, where I go to murder camp and play pretend, and I love it very much. And we do this. Point is, and I'm going to go to Minneapolis and do Outdated. I'm writing things. There's things with you. Why do we keep doing things? Because we have to remember that joy is the fuel, and we need the joy, right? We do. So what this week is me and Elizabeth the editor, insert adorable dog picture here of what she might look like today. Maybe a French dog. We're doing a supercut. A supercut. Like a supercut, like that Lorde song, or like a supercut of some narwhals. I'm not saying she did a supercut of those, but you can do them in your mind. isn't that fun that we can do that with our mind?
You got to understand, and this is what I love about LA, is you get out of LA what you put into it. When you're driving around or taking the metro or walking, you're like, it is so beautiful, or that place is so interesting, or I wonder what that building was. And like everything has its history, everything has its stories. And all these little spots in the strip malls, they have their mom and pop, like American dream origin stories. And in every community, you have that because everybody wants the same thing. They want to be happy. They want to feed their families. And guess what? They came here for a reason because LA really is, and you know, they say the American dream, but LA really is the land of fresh starts. It's the land of opportunity. And it's the land where, honestly, and it sounds like a broken record, but it's the truth. When you walk outside 300 days a year and it's beautiful skies, beautiful weather, but it's not just the weather. We have mountain ranges running through the city. We have beaches. We have canyon, like even, and this is something I think is actually underrated, driving through the canyons. Like we always talk about the beaches and the mountains, but I'm like, these mountains, we have canyons and mountains in our city. So it's like, it's this place where if you really want to be happy, if you really want to be inspired, all you got to do is go outside and see it. And people who live there know that. And we're like, we're all here because this is the place where that is the reality, and that can be the reality. And lifting up your neighbors always helps. And you know what? At this point, going back to what we were first talking about, when everybody's against you or everybody says how terrible this place is, it's like, give me a friggin' break. Now we're all in it together, even more unifying. So I think that's a big point.
Totally agree with you. And those parts of Los Angeles, the weather, the canyons, that belongs to all of us. You know what I mean? And all of us get to participate in that.
Even the people who make the decisions for it, you know, we have a Metro, which is our, you know, transit agency. We have a board made up of people who also don't use it. So it's like, you know, if a lot of people making the decisions, including our elected officials, you ask them how often they ride the buses and trains that they are controlling, and they don't even ride it that much easier. So they don't even ride it that much either. So it's, yes, there are many reasons for, you know, the disinvestment in public transit in general. It also comes down from the federal level. You know, we have freeways that get funded as part of our, you know, interstate transportation system that get, much more money than the money that's coming to, say, buses, bus lanes that move people much more efficiently. It would solve a lot of our problems when it comes to both traffic and air quality. But you see where the money goes, and you see who gets affected by those choices.
Yeah, but I think that a really gentle way to perform some activism is to participate. We're traveling, we've looked up transit app, you're going on a trip, you do this all the time. What are the things that you're like, I almost always travel with these things? These are the things you want to bring
just around the city.
Yeah, if you don't have a car, what do you
I got my bag right here. I could rifle through it and show you. I usually have sunblock and a hat and sunglasses, obviously, because you might be waiting at a bus stop that doesn't have any kind of shade. You need to reapply throughout the day. I usually have a small water bottle because we don't have a lot of public drinking fountains or other sources of hydration. So I always have to be extra prepared. I do think, like, I would say my tap card, but now I just use my phone like everyone else. So you don't have to have something like that. It's another barrier we've removed from the transit experience. If I have my kids, I have some snacks because sometimes those trips can get a little long, or something for them to stay entertained. And then, you know, I don't have a physical book, but I have something that I always can read and, you know, make sure that I can make the best of my time on the train, which is usually blissfully air conditioned and safe and quiet and comfortable.
And a lot of the metro lines have chargers now. So I mean,
yes, that's one thing I have. I have two different kinds of charging cables because some places only have the old school USB and some have the newer ones. So bring those around and you can always charge your phone wherever you are.
Ooh, we did it. I don't know what happened in the SUPERCUT because that's how we're doing this show this week. It's all mushed up together, and that's a SUPERCUT. Okay, go do things for your life. Okay, and look, I'm just using 2 fingers, but I have more, and probably you do too. Think about that. Sometimes we think we can only do this, but then you're like, wait a minute, I have all of these to make my dreams come true too. And call the California Chamber of City of Commerce and be like, dude, what exactly? Explain thyself. And don't let them use this like, well, this is the, no, be honest. Just be honest. That's all. And maybe, look, I could find out that like, no, actually it was a terrible idea, but I don't think so. I don't think so. We all need to just keep plugging along. Absolutely and perfectly. That is what I intend to do. I wish you the same. Good day.